Colorado crews are working around the clock to contain multiple massive wildfires. This morning at 8 o'clock, we're hearing from one couple living in one of the evacuation zones. Right now, one of the Metro's biggest school districts is trying a new tactic to try to deal with an absolutely shocking number of teens who are hooked on tobacco products.
And things up a touch more here for the next couple days, but we'll talk about when that storm chance returns coming up.
But first this morning, we're marking the 13 years since the tragic Aurora theater shooting. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lauren Scafidi. Every year for the last 13, people have gathered to honor the 12 people and one unborn baby killed and 70 others who were injured in that Aurora theater shooting. Our Ann Herbst was there at midnight to talk to the people about why it's important to keep coming together to support each other and remember.
13 is a number often charged with feelings. Tonight, this 13
We'll never forget what's happening.
is one Tony Kurtzinger can hardly believe.
I'm just like in awe that it's been so long and how many years we've been doing this.
This, a vigil every year at midnight on July 20th to remember the 12 killed and 70 injured in the Aurora theater shooting in 2012.
So we have crosses for the people that we lost that night, but then we also have the 70 cranes here that represent pretty much our healing journey.
Tony is on that journey, now 13 years long.
Where I was injured, along with 8 of my other friends, and I was actually pregnant with my son at the time, who actually turns 13 in 2 weeks.
Also, 13 years to grow older without her friend.
Alex Sullivan, yeah, we lost him that night on his birthday. So my son actually knew he wouldn't be born that day.
A decade and change is substantial, but the good stuff is still easy to recall.
He was one of the best people I've ever known.
13 years brings strong bonds and grows a teenage boy.
This is my 13-year-old, and this is one of our besties.
13. It's enough time to dull sharp edges a bit for Tony.
It doesn't feel like it's yesterday anymore, like it used to.
What that time won't do is erase appreciation for those who helped that night. And no amount of time will ever cause Tony to forget why she's here.
But we still want people to know how important it is to us that we do this every year.
Wow. 720 Memorial Foundation will be holding their Day of Resilience next Saturday, the 26th. There will be music, yoga, their annual 5K run and walk, and so many more activities from 7:30 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. The event is free, and it's at the Aurora Waterwise Reflection Garden near the Aurora Municipal Center. One of the survivors is trying to turn a day marked by tragedy into something that can actually give back to his community. Today, Dylan Boxer and Vitalent are hosting a blood drive outside of the Cinemark where the shooting happened. Dylan came to 9 News Mornings to talk about why this event is so special.
It's an obligation as a survivor to do everything that I can to kind of undo the damage from that night. And being with Vitalent and having those resources makes it so easy.
Dylan says that within his lifetime, he's donated 9 pints of blood. Most of their slots booked up, but Vitalent and Dylan are working to make room, and they have staff available for walk-ins. If you would like to donate, it's happening today from 11 to 3 at the Cinemark Century Aurora parking lot. You can sign up at the website listed right there on your screen. Turning our attention to the weather now, this is a live look outside over downtown Denver and Ball Arena. Clear now, but conditions are quickly going to heat up today. Let's send things on over to Weather Impact meteorologist Carly Cassidy to walk us through today's forecast. Hi, Carly.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, it's a beautiful start, a little bit cool for now, but yes, we are going to heat things up as we head into the afternoon. Plenty of sunshine, just a few of those clouds streaming overhead. Already into low to mid 70s for some. Central Park still at 69 degrees. But here we go, heating things up by lunch lunchtime into the upper 80s, low 90s, 93 for this afternoon across the metro, and then back down through the 80s as we go into this evening. We will add in a few more of those puffy clouds, and then that storm chance just about 20% for today. So the heat, the main thing all the way across the state. We're seeing the 90s for a good portion to the east, even close to 100, 97 in Grand Junction. 70s, 80s in between up in the high country, so still seeing and feeling the warmth there as well. That storm chance again, only 20%, most to all of us staying on the dry side here to the eastern plains where we have the best chance to get a little bit more of that activity, and even that on the low end of things. Brief heavy downpour, gusty winds, small hail, that is possible. The eastern plains, though, will stay active over the next couple of days while the rest of us start to dry things out. That's until midweek, so we'll talk about that monsoon moisture and what it does to the forecast in a few minutes.
Carly, thank you so much. Colorado fire crews are working around the clock to put out several massive wildfires. One of those is the South Rim Fire, which is still burning at the Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. As of right now, it is 21% contained. Fire officials say it could take weeks to get this thing totally under control. It's burned more than 4,000 acres near Montrose County, forcing dozens of people out of their homes. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj spoke with a couple that lives less than a mile from that fire.
Well, Karen and Philip Lee were forced to evacuate early on. They had little more than half an hour to decide just what to take and what to leave. And yesterday, after more than a week away from home, they got to go back. Now, their home sits less than a mile back from Black Canyon of the Gunnison. When the South Rim fires started, they were 3 hours away from home camping. Now, they got a lot of urgent texts and phone calls, so they got in their car and they drove back. Now, what they saw when they got there was dark smoke rising. Philip redirected a couple of their security cameras to keep an eye on things while they were away. Now, they ended up seeing firefighters cutting trees down to size on their property.
They took all our furniture off the deck and put it out in the yard, and they were apologetic for that. We were like, whatever you need to do, we're good with. We went from one house to another house to another house.
Well, they are home now and filled with a lot of gratitude. Their log house was somehow untouched by the flames. Now, the Lees tell me a lot of their belongings are still packed up and ready to go in case the situation changes. They desperately hope that won't be the case. Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
We have multiple other wildfires burning in our state as well right now. For the latest on the containment, head to our website, 9news.com. Right now, Aurora police are investigating after finding a man shot in the street overnight. It happened around 1 this morning at East Mexico and East Oregon Drive. Responders took the man to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. According to investigators, they think he may have been at a party nearby when shots were fired. Aurora Police Department's Major Crime Unit is investigating. As of right now, no arrests have been made. If you have any information, though, call Denver Metro Crime Stoppers. That number is listed right there at the bottom of your screen. Popular with kids will be the latest to roll out age verification, what you need to know if your child is a user. But first, as we head to break, we want to take a moment to remember the 13 people who died 13 years ago today in the theater in Aurora.